Welcome to the first show of the Orange County Atheists. We hope you enjoy a very interesting conversation of what atheists are all about. I'm sure you will be tempted to think about your own ideas of religion and beliefs and what the world really means to you while we progress through each show. My name is Bruce Gleason. I'd like to welcome my co-host of this program, my good friend and fellow atheist advocate, Vaughn. Welcome, Vaughn.
Thank you very much. I'm glad to be here.
Excellent. I must first say that I am glad we live in a country that has a Constitution and a Bill of Rights that allows for this type of discussion. The Constitution is unique from the standpoint of separating church and state. It is programs like this that show our community that we are truly a free society with free speech and the opportunity to speak our minds without reprisals. This first show is going to be a bit outside our normal format for all future shows because Vaughn and I would like to define what the show is about and why we started this show. Let's let our viewers know what we will be discussing during this weekly show. The topics will include: what is the difference between a skeptic and an atheist?
Why is it better not to believe than to believe in religion?
Why atheists are more moral than a person believing in any religion or doctrine?
Why are atheists misunderstood as evil or bad people?
Why our founding fathers in this country, although mostly believers in a natural God or deity, were strongly against religion?
Why and when did our government change our national motto? What are the current real-world dangers of a religious theocracy taking over our government?
Our goal is not to insult believers or to create a harsh division between believers and unbelievers. Our goals are to encourage freedom from superstition, irrationalism, and religious dogma.
To further the acceptance and application of science, reason, and critical thinking in all areas of human endeavor.
To challenge misrepresentations of non-religious convictions and lifestyles.
To create a local community for atheists, agnostics, freethinkers, and skeptics.
To cultivate in ourselves and others a sense of responsibility to and compassion for humanity.
To counter all forms of religious or political extremism.
To defend religious freedom from and for religion and the separation of church and state.
To openly and freely discuss the differences between atheists and believers.
To promote science and all rational thinking groups and individuals. And to defend individual freedoms and civil liberties for all persons, regardless of race, sex, gender, class, creed, ethnicity, sexual orientation, or disability.
Anyone may email us at orangecounty.atheist@backyardskeptics.com, or for questions they would like answered on this show, or to comment about any topic we will be talking about down the road.
We believe that open and frank discussion on this topic will promote thinking on both sides of the believing line. We have started this program to support the agnostic and atheist community. There are 8 to 9% atheists in America, and that number is growing. There are also another 11 to 12% of people who are not associated with any religion. These people have no church to form social connections with. Some feel isolated because they are atheists. If you feel isolated, I recommend you look up a website called meetup.com. If you search for atheists or agnostics on the site, you will find many groups in your area where you can meet up. Or you can form your own meetup group in your area. There's even a way that you can not have to pay for the $70 needed to form your own atheist meetup group. Email us for more information. Again, that's at orangecounty.atheists@backyardskeptics.com.
We are not here to convert anyone. We respect everyone's choice to their own beliefs, but we do reserve the right to question and challenge those religions, especially since it affects us, non-believers, and especially if the religious majority affects the rights of a religious minority, or if the practice of a religion in question does harm to others, such as parents praying for their children and refusing to give medical attention. Carl Sagan said, "Extraordinary claims demand extraordinary evidence." And this is true for anything, including Bigfoot, UFOs, psychics, and all religious beliefs.
We embrace scientific study and repeatable evidence in all aspects of a moral lifestyle and social community. Atheists want to live a good, healthy life without religious dogma. In other words, we are just like everyone else, just without a supernatural deity in our lives.
We have families, jobs, responsibilities. One of my close Jewish friends said to me, "It's just about as different as you liking green jelly beans and me liking blue ones."
We are not trying to take a person's belief in God away. You must decide that for yourself. If you are religious, we respect your choice to be so, as long as it doesn't trample on our rights as non-believers. We do not believe in any God, the afterlife, original sin, heaven or hell, angels or devils.
We do believe in the natural world around us. We believe in evolution and the scientific method. We believe we can be good and moral without religion. We believe that religion is man-made, not divine, and an ideology that enslaves the minds of men through myth and superstition.
Religion says that we would be nothing, that we would not have any decency without believing. Some strong atheists, such as Christopher Hitchens, believes that religion is the source of all guilt, shame, unhappiness, and immorality. These things we will be talking about on this show. So with that, let's make things a little bit more personal now and talk about how each of us became an atheist. Let's start with you, Vaughn. Vaughn, were you an atheist as a child?
No, like most people in this country, I was brought up in a religious family. I was, I'll say, forcibly taken to church on a regular basis. I attended a private school where I attended church at least 3 days a week. But during that time, I grew up in an area where I had a great opportunity to explore the natural world. We were next to a creek and a big, huge woods, as I would call them as a kid.
Sounds like a nature museum right next to your
Right,
house.
a nature center, you might say. And there was a lot of farming that went on around there. So this gave me a lot of exposure to the real world, and that exposure pretty much perked my interest in that it allowed me to explore and to start asking questions about how this world operates. But nevertheless, as things progressed and I got through or transferred from a private school, religious school, to a public school, then the whole world changed for me because suddenly I was exposed to the world of science, actually attended science classes in a classroom that was equipped to do science. So this further opened up the world to me. But nevertheless, I was indoctrinated into religion. It's something hard to shake. So over time, I became dissatisfied with the religion I was brought up in. So I started looking at other religions because we all have issues in our life, emotional issues that cause us to start exploring and trying to understand really what's going on in our life and the world we live in. So I went from church to church. They included the Protestants, the Baptists, the Nazarenes, the Mormons. I looked into the Jehovah's Witnesses, but walked away right away there. They were kind of scary. Ultimately, I ended up about 30 years ago getting involved with the Buddhist religion. I thought that, I started reading some of their material because it's not a religion so much as it is a way of life or a philosophy of life. And there they did not acknowledge the existence of a supreme being, and they did not even question the issue of whether there's really a God out there or not. They said it was just beyond us, or beyond our ability to answer that question. And so that wasn't an issue in the in the Buddhist, within the Buddhist teachings. And so with this in mind, and a lot of the teachings that went on, which were a lot of rituals went on within the Buddhist community, I slowly started drawing away from regular religion because regular religion was not satisfying my needs. But sitting down and contemplating things, meditating, seemed to change my whole life. It's not an easy process. Becoming an atheist or a skeptic, you're giving